Okay, um, I'm gonna tie for you guys a snake fly. I just have a regular 2/0 Mustad hook, stainless, not a very expensive hook. Just get that in the vise here, nice and even. Good. I'm gonna start my thread. I don't know, 3/4 of the way back the hook shank, just because the front portion of this fly is gonna be spun deer hair, and I find that it's easier to do when you have a little less thread on the shank. Trim that down. Alright, so we're going to take our strung marabou. Generally speaking, I try to get nice kind of fluffy one like that on either side. Okay. So take those and tie them on in a couple inches, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches past the hook shank, maybe longer if you choose, but tie them in right at the point of the hook and tie it forward. Okay, now return your thread back to where you tied that one in. Flip them over. Measure this up. Just make sure it's the same length as this guy, or somewhere close to it. Okay. And just tie him in as well. Right. Not too far forward, but get him nice and secure. Trim that excess. Then I'll take not such a nice fluffy piece of marabou and kind of pinch it down like that and tie it in up top here, just so the fly has a little taper headed backwards, like a little bigger bodied bait fish or a bigger eel or something. Tie that in the same manner we did the others. See that? It's a little farther up here. Alright. Trim that off. Okay. Now we're just going to take a little bit of accent flash, 4 or 5 strands, something of that nature. Right. Okay. Just lay that on here, 50-50 on either side of the shank. Go ahead and tie it on. Go ahead and pull this one back here. See that? Pull that back there. Tie that in. Advance the thread forward again. And tie that one back as well. Might be kind of hard to see, but just hold it back here. I know you can't see that flash very well, but that's what happened. That's what I did. Okay. Alright. Now we're just going to take deer belly, white deer belly. And I actually tie this fly in white and black and chartreuse, and sometimes even chartreuse with an orange deer belly head, which I actually catch a lot of fish on, surprisingly. It's almost I don't know, more like an attractor fly, the chartreuse headed one, or the blaze orange one. So you want to leave the natural ends, tie them back so as to cover these thread wraps, right? So just lay it on there like that. Go ahead and do 2 loose wraps and kind of pull it tight and let it spin just like that. Just wiggle that line or the thread back and forth so you don't tie the hairs down, but you know, kind of maneuver through them. And I take that and I push it back, right? And tie it down. Now I'm going to put just a few wraps on this so that when I spin the deer hair, it actually has something to grab onto and won't spin on the shank. Okay. Now, with this particular fly, I'm taking pretty good chunks of deer hair, or deer belly, since I'm only doing one color here. One loose wrap, 2 loose wraps, and pull it tight. Watch it flare out. Let it go, and it'll spin. See that? Just kind of maneuver that thread, those wraps through that deer belly. Okay. I'll take it, scoot it on back. And tie it back. Just put a few wraps there just to kind of hold it in place. Okay. Probably need I don't know, 2 or so more of these. Okay. Now tie that back. Okay. Push that material on back. Right. And kind of the more dense you get this hair, the better your final product will turn out. Right. So you get space for maybe another little piece. Right. Just get that tied on there. this deer hairs or this deer belly is so short that these fibers keep jumping forward. You know, kind of hard to maintain, but so just get them tied back. Get that last one tied back. Then get a whip finish on there. Four or five usually does it. I'm gonna put a decent coat of head cement right on those wraps in the front. Trim that thread up. Okay, now once you get that deer hair tied on, it's pretty crazy. So we gotta trim that on down. They make curved scissors, which makes this process a little bit easier, but I find that you can get the same result with just conventional scissors, which I believe I commandeered from my parents. You can give these heads any shape you want, really, just however big or small, but generally I like to cut a lot of the fibers away from the hook point, just so you don't risk missing a strike. Okay, nice and trimmed up. I'll show you this. Show that. Okay, this kind of makes a nice collar. Helps it, you know, kind of flow into the body and not have any weird gaps in there. So just put a little Zap Goo, which I find works great for eyes. And we just make sure get a decent drop in there and make sure it's right level. The hook is level, just so you know you get the eyes in the same place, right? Just little sticky eyes, nothing expensive, nothing crazy, since there's a good chance they're coming off anyway at some point. Okay, get that eye glued on. Get this eye on here. Okay, just make sure they're fairly even. And that's your snake fly. Pretty simple pattern. Highly effective on stripers and blues, and probably a good sized largemouth in the freshwater. But again, I tied these in black and chartreuse with blaze orange heads, blaze orange spun deer hair. But thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll have more videos coming soon.